Welcome, Gemini. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do a new moon in Cancer reading for you. And this is affecting the area of your values, your possessions, the way you feel about your possessions, and the way that you give and receive in relationship to all exchanges of energy. I'm starting here with the vision, the serpent wisdom oracle, or the serpent vision oracle. Oh no, it's wisdom. Okay, this is called the serpent wisdom oracle. And I love this card. And you've pulled cycles. This is telling me that you are allowing yourself to move more naturally in sync with the lunations. The lunations are the cycles of the moon that have guided the actions of the ancients, our ancestors, and ourselves in our current day without being astrologers, without being metaphysicians, or having any aspiration towards spiritual knowledge. This is simply the acceptance of the tides, the movement of fluid on the earth, and the impact that has regarding the way that we grow plants, for instance, the way that we produce food, the way that we experience birth, childbirth, changes in our body, times in the month when our energy ebbs and flows. So this is really about being in sync with natural forces and accepting those as a way of simplifying your life. And from the Crystal Spirit Oracle, I pulled the Obsidian for you, number 9. And I'm going to read about not only your relationships, but your prosperity, specifically with this card. The relationship message is, self-awareness means stopping long enough to acknowledge who you see when you observe yourself. As you engage in honest self-reflection, you'll start to see what you were overlooking. The qualities you've been seeking in a partner or in an opportunity but have forgotten exist within you. In order to be authentic in any relationship, you have to know and love yourself just as you are. And for the prosperity message, Obsidian Spirit's gentle message for you is to stop being afraid of looking at your relationship, specifically with money. For you have a serious tendency to underestimate your ability to manage the flow of abundance in your life. Talk about flow and the ebb and flow of cycles. To experience the prosperity you deserve, answer the call to heal your own fear-based habits, fearful frugality, and, gee, I hope they love me now, generosity will not serve you on your healing journey. Clearly, those are two extremes. Any discomfort you have looking at your relationship to finances is simply part of a necessary transition to accepting yourself as you are today, and you must accept yourself for healing to take place. Self-awareness will lead you to feeling comfortable and confident in growing your abundance. So this is, I think, an issue that has been coming up for you for a while, Gemini. And certainly this new moon in Cancer, where we have the opportunity to reset our own emotional calibration around how we identify home, how we identify what makes us comfortable, what constitutes our value. Is our value being matched in our relationships of all sorts? Is our value seen? Do we value, or do we know our value? These are all questions that are relevant for you at this time. So in your present energy, we have the 10 of Pentacles, and this is a big giant flag around your concept of prosperity, your concept of being taken care of, your entire circle, This is not just personal prosperity. This is generational wealth, the development of that. How are you contributing to that? Or how are you not participating in that? How are you limiting your ability to impact this by focusing on your own personal finances? Those are some of the questions that are coming through to me. The tens always indicate that you're in the midst of a change in the way that you're thinking about this. And at this point, I'm sensing a move towards greater simplicity, greater clarity around what you're spending money on and how necessary or important that spending or that giving is to establishing stability and security. In the past, the Ace of Wands. This is beautiful energy of starting something fresh, starting a new beginning. And this is something you accomplished in the past. This may be a recognition of yourself as you actually were, a clear evidence of what is available to you, the resources you have, who you truly are, and how your individual prosperity is or isn't contributing to this greater circle of security and stability for loved ones through a family story, a generational story. You clearly are intending to break out of a rut. That is your intention, out of a groove that has been the story of your family, your ancestry, or generations past. That is your desire to establish yourself in a new way. And this is really focused on your ability to be prosperous, to generate abundance. And in the future, the Ace of Swords. You're coming up against some very hard truth. That hard truth may be part of the separation between your efforts and the efforts of your ancestors, previous generations, or the impact that your efforts are making on that. It feels as though you're clear about a separation, perhaps a separation you hadn't recognized before, because whatever your source of money or income, it was gifted to you through your ancestry. For those I'm speaking to, the profession or occupation you practice is one that you were trained in by members of your family or a tradition in your family of doing a certain kind of work. So for many of you, there is an understanding of how you have or have not been able to bridge these two, your own efforts and the efforts to heal some kind of generational scarcity, or how to channel some kind of generational abundance. But this clarity, this revelation leads to some kind of victory for you. If this reading is resonating for you, Gemini, please like this video. Please share this with others if you feel inclined. Subscribe to my channel. Absolutely. And thanks for being here. I appreciate your presence. So the Ace of Pentacles, I'm going to clarify with a couple of cards here. I have the Emperor and we have the Queen of Cups. The present Ten of Pentacles is clarified by the Six of Cups. And the Eight of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords is clarified by the Five of Wands and the Six of Swords. Okay. So in that past, this your individual efforts to generate some kind of stability, a powerful professional practice or gift that you developed or was developed on your behalf by others has been extremely powerful gift. You have developed this gift in a way that allows you to be confident and you understand to shape your reality, to take full responsibility for what you have and what you can create. Now, this feels as though it is on behalf of others, that you were confidently leading others in a way that was going to benefit a community, a family, or perhaps that is some of what you do in your work. You provide solutions to families or communities in some way. You allow them to acquire or shape something in a way that you are uniquely gifted to do. So this is a huge responsibility. And this is one that was shown to you by a prominent ancestor in your life. That ancestor may have been a wee bit ruthless, but they were very successful at generating abundance. And the moral code or value around that is something perhaps that has been a struggle for you. It may have been something you automatically assumed was the way to go. And you were confident about that. You were confident about accumulating wealth, but on the terms perhaps of some kinds of deception. They may have been subtle, but you purported to help families and communities when in fact your ultimate goal was prospering yourself. And that is the result of the kind of training or mentorship you received. In the present, the Ten of Pentacles describes not only a natural gift you had in this regard. So generating abundance is something that was a natural for you, something you enjoy doing, something that represents a gift that you developed, and something you worked very hard at. The focus here feels as though the gift, again, was something you were willing to work hard at, but you were unwilling to share with others. And this is simply the message that is coming through. I'm not here to judge or criticize you, no way, or demean your efforts. But it looks as though you understood this gift and this talent to generate abundance as something that was yours and yours alone. And on that basis, you worked very, very hard, understanding that ultimately, again, this is being reinforced, that you would benefit. This abundance would benefit you, would accumulated by you. This doesn't feel like something that was shared, but you did share some of that abundance with others in a discretionary way. You treated people well. You entertained or were generous in many ways, but it wasn't to contributing to their bottom line. Ultimately, it was a discretionary or excessive income of yours that contributed to this. And because this message is so specific, I realize it may not be for all of you, but it is very clear that this revelation you are experiencing in the future is helping you to understand the source of conflict within the family and your need to recover. So this has generated many conflicts. This may have created some infighting within families or groups or organizations you worked with. There was a lot of crises generated, a lot of fighting, a lot of disagreement about whose job was what, or the impact you had on an organization, the inability perhaps of other people to do their jobs or generate the income they feel they were owed as a result of some confusion that was sown. It feels like by you, some way that you didn't participate with the team or with those you served, and therefore created a divisive situation, one that you understand is you are moving away from, you are healing from. You see the impact your efforts have had. Whether that was your intention or not, you are learning to heal and thus accept yourself for who you are, not the who that someone else was or that you pattern yourself on. That person was not the role model for you. That person absolutely had the skill, but to what end? You never questioned, you never challenged. You assumed that uh, accumulating wealth was the goal, the only goal, and that was to magnify yourself, to amplify your own power, to give you confidence, the confidence of luxury and excess and wealth. And so you are understanding better now that that was the wrong goal, that was the wrong model, not for everyone, but for you. And you're actively moving towards recovery, which means perhaps taking a respite, perhaps moving away from those or situations, environments in which the conflict was generated. This can be relatives, this can be aspects or a part of your family that contributed to the chaos, perhaps used you, and you were unknowingly aware of how you were being used against the prosperity of others, just as you were moving against the prosperity of others. But you see how you were absent from this. This was not who you really were. The idea that you are harming others or depriving others of something that they rightfully deserved, this could be part of what you have come to realize and recognize that you don't see yourself. You don't recognize yourself in this history, in this process. Even though this is very focused and particular, I hope many of you can see yourselves in some aspect of this reading. I always enjoy your comments. So I'm going to finish up this reading with a crystal oracle, and the selenite keyword is spiritual awakening. I'm a spiritual warrior of light, and I think we're going right back to not only this revelation, this illumination, this greater final understanding of actually what our highest values are and how important they are, but also the necessary recovery process, the way to find our way back to the positive impact our dynamic power and gifts can have on our world, on our communities, on our families. I hope this has been helpful, Gemini. Until next time, namaste.